Now that voters have said no to an urban growth boundary for North Plains, the ripple effects are going out. Real estate expert Rick Sadle with Keller Williams Realty and SadleRealEstate.com is with us. Hello there, Rick.
Hey, good morning.
Okay, so last week's Oregon primary election, residents of North Plains really shot down a plan to add 855 acres to the city and basically double it in size. And the vote wasn't really that close. What does that tell you overall, first reaction?
Yeah, I don't know if it's the first time, but it's not normal for voters to decide on a city's growth, right? In this case, opponents led by some farmers and some land preservationists, they got enough signatures to put the issue on the ballot so the voters could decide. And like I said, or like you said, excuse me, it was dramatically shot down. In fact, it was 72% against and 28% for. So it was a big old resounding no to growing the city's size. So what that tells me is residents of this sleepy little city of 3,400 people want to keep it that way, right? They don't want the growth to impact the farming land around the city or their way of life.
I don't know about you, but I've been out to Pumpkin Ridge recently, and man, it's really sprawling on your way there. It's certainly filling in with houses. Can you explain the power struggle that you touched on a little bit there, the growth between state, county, city, current residents, farmers, and developers, how that all works together?
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of players here, right? In essence, the city wants to grow in order to expand their tax base. They say they don't have enough income to cover services like fire and police, let alone new money for parks, etc. So they say expanding the tax base can help a lot with that. Now, the county, one of the other players, right? They set property taxes, and apparently those are pretty low. So there's not a lot of income there. And the state has concerns about setting precedent, so they rushed through a bill to block the vote. And then a county judge ruled that the vote should temporarily stay. So this sleepy little city has a bunch of big issues with a bunch of big players right now.
So why is what happening? So why is what's happening in North Plains kind of a test case for other cities in Oregon, Washington, and elsewhere?
Yeah, like I said, I think the biggest concern is that it could set a precedent, right? Other cities like, excuse me, in Oregon and Washington could follow suit, right? To have the voters try and weigh in on land use policies and processes could create a bunch of problems, right? Their position, the state's position, is that something like that could significantly slow down the process of land use development and really delay the pace of new housing development. As we all know, we already don't have enough houses for sale, enough houses for people to even live in that already live here. That doesn't even take into account people moving here. So it could be a big problem.
That's great perspective on that North Plains urban growth boundary situation. Rick, thanks again. We appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks.
That is Rick Sadle, real estate expert with Keller Williams Realty and SadleRealEstate.com.